Step into the shadows and discover the secret life of the civet cat, one of nature's most mysterious nocturnal survivors. This emotional, cinematic wildlife documentary explores the civet's habitat, diet, classification, migration, parenting, rescue, survival instincts, injury, endurance, and reactions to loss, all told through immersive storytelling and breathtaking visuals, from dense rainforests to forest edges near human settlements. Civets move unseen, shaping ecosystems through seed dispersal and pest control. Yet they face growing threats: habitat loss, roads, traps, exploitation, and misunderstanding. This film reveals why civet cats matter, how they survive without applause, and what the world risks losing if they disappear. Kindly like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified once we drop a new video. Let's dive in. The night breathes, and from its depths, to amber eyes glow a civet cat. Born not for daylight, but for shadow, she walks alone. No pride, no pack. Survival, for her, has always been a solitary promise. Inside her body, fragile lives begin to form unseen, unheard, but demanding everything she has. Pregnancy does not grant mercy in the wild. It paints a target. Still, she moves, hunts, endures. Hunger does not wait for motherhood. It never has. Then the rains fail. The earth cracks open. Water becomes memory. Every step costs more now. Every breath feels borrowed. Yet beneath tangled roots, she chooses a birthplace hidden, silent, sacred. Birth arrives without warning and without help. In the deepest darkness, tiny hearts begin to beat in a dangerous world. She curls around them, knowing the weight of motherhood is not love alone, it is survival. She must feed them or lose them. One night, one sound, one moment too late. The wild does not mourn, but mothers do. She nudges a body that will never move again. She does not cry. She remembers. Pain follows her. A torn paw, blood pressed into the soil. In the wild, rest is a luxury few survive. Still, she moves. Still, she hunts. She feeds her remaining young, even as her strength drains away. Another danger stalks the night. Humans. Steel teeth hidden beneath kindness. Fear sharpens her senses. Instinct becomes her weapon. The smallest breath becomes the loudest worry. She holds her sick kitten close, waiting through the cold hours of darkness, praying to a sky that does not answer. And yet, against all odds, the kitten breathes. Every scar becomes a lesson. Every loss, a warning written into muscle and memory. And then, at last, the sky remembers the land. Rain falls. Life answers back. What was once fragile now pushes forward. The kitten grows stronger, bolder. One day, she will walk alone again. The night continues. The forest does not remember her name, but it carries her story. Civets are largely solitary animals. They do not form permanent social groups like wolves or primates, which often because survival is not strength alone. It is endurance in silence. Long before cities rose and roads cut through forests, civets already walked the earth, quiet witnesses to time itself. Their shadows stretch deep into history, shaped not by dominance, but by survival. In the wild, a civet's life is short. 8 to 10 fragile years, if fortune allows. Every season is earned. Every night survived is a victory over time itself. There is not one civet, but many. More than 30 species spread across Africa and Asia, each molded by a different land, a different danger, a different way of injuring. Though their faces differ, their design speaks the same language: elongated bodies, short legs, masked eyes, everything built for darkness. Their world is written in scent. Messages left on bark and stone speak of territory, warning, and identity. To lose territory is to lose survival. They eat what survives: fruit when it falls, insects when they swarm, rodents when they run. Civets do not specialize. They adapt. They do not plan the future. They react to the present. Instinct moves faster than thought, but instinct cannot see wire. Escape often leaves scars, reminders carved into flesh. There are no doctors in the wild. Pain does not stop them. It teaches them. They adjust their movement, change their paths, shift their timing. Endurance replaces speed. Senses sharpen. Hearing grows finer. Smell grows deeper. Fear becomes precision. Night, to a civet, is not darkness. It is clarity. They avoid conflict not with strength, but wisdom. Some now walk the edges of human worlds unseen, learning new dangers, surviving among unfamiliar lights. Their scent, once a tool of survival, became something humans desired. What survives the forest may break in a cage. Yet civets endure because evolution favors those who bend, not those who fight. Few grow old. Those who do carry the memory of every danger they've escaped. They remember where pain lives. Young civets learn not through lessons, but through watching survival unfold. The body heals, bone strengthens, skin thickens, but endurance does not make them invincible. Storms still bite. Hunger still waits. The night still demands its price. Civets matter more than we see, spreading seeds, controlling pests, quietly holding ecosystems together. If they disappear, the night would change forever. Scent is central to civet cognition. When a loved one dies, their scent slowly degrades. As long as scent remains, the civet may revisit the area, mark over old scent patches, linger longer than usual. When rain, wind, or time erases those scent cues, a noticeable behavioral shift occurs. This is often the moment when search behavior stops. Ethologists believe this marks recognition of permanent absence, not through concept, but through sensory silence. Because the civet does not survive by being loud, or feared, or seen, observed changes may include reduced nightly travel distance, less frequent feeding attempts, increased time it survives by enduring long enough to remain. The forest breaks its silence not with thunder, not with wind, but with pain. A sound swallowed quickly by darkness. By morning, humans finally see what the night hid. A civet cat, exhausted, injured, caught between fear and survival. To her, rescue does not look like mercy. It looks like capture. Hands approach, and instinct screams danger. Intervention is always a risk, but so is doing nothing. Her heart races against time as the wild fights back in silence. Wild animals do not ask for help, even when they need it. Slowly, healing begins. The body remembers how to mend itself. But this is not a pet. This is a survivor, restless, alert, waiting. And when the moment comes, freedom is not gentle, it is necessary. Nightfall restores her rhythm. She returns to a life lived unseen, even among abundance. Civets do not announce themselves. They slip through the world quietly. Motherhood does not soften them, it sharpens them. Their young are raised in silence, hidden deep from danger. She does not guide them closely. She moves ahead, and they learn by following survival itself. Health in the wild is instinct, not medicine. They groom, they chew bitter plants, they listen to their bodies. Even the smallest enemy, a parasite, an infection, can steal strength. Balance becomes everything. Rest and movement must exist together, or survival collapses. While the world sleeps, civets work. They scatter seeds through the forest floor, unknowingly rebuilding what time and fire have taken. Rodent populations fall quietly under their watch. They are engineers of balance, shaping ecosystems without ever being seen. Healthy forests mean healthy people. Human lives rise and fall with the land. But profit once changed the civet's story. What is taken never returns whole. Still, some humans choose guardianship instead of exploitation, protection instead of possession. When civets thrive, forests breathe. And when forests breathe, the future remains possible. The young inherit what we protect. Survival, it turns out, is not always solitary. Sometimes it is cooperation, quiet, fragile, and shared. The night continues. Their work never ends. And in that darkness lives a promise. Protect the unseen. And the world protects itself. Because the civet does not ask to be saved, only allowed to. Civets form temporary but meaningful bonds, especially during mating seasons, shared territories, and parenting. These bonds are reinforced through scent recognition, repeated encounters, and spatial memory, not constant physical presence. When a bonded individual disappears through death, the disruption is behavioral, physiological, and spatial. Loss for a civet is not expressed outwardly, it is absorbed inwardly. When a mate or offspring dies, civets do not display overt distress behaviors such as vocalization or frantic searching. Instead, the first response observed is pattern disruption. Typical immediate reactions include repeated visits to shared locations, dens, feeding paths. The civet is not built for speed. It is built for silence. An elongated body moves low to the ground. Each step measured, each sound swallowed by the night. Its face is painted for anonymity, a natural mask that hides it from both prey and danger. It is not a cat and not a mongoose, but something older, a survivor standing on its own branch of evolution. Civets belong to the ancient family of viverids, a lineage shaped long before many modern predators learned to hunt. They do not build homes. They borrow the land, rocky crevices, tangled roots. Abandoned hollows anywhere the earth offers cover becomes enough. Rainforests, savannas, mountain edges. Even the borders where wilderness meets farms, civets adapt where others vanish. The edge is dangerous, but it is also full of opportunity. Their hunger wakes when the world sleeps. They are night feeders, guided by smell more than sight. eating what the darkness provides. Fallen fruit, insects, reptiles, rodents, their diet shows no loyalty. When fruit disappears, teeth turn to flesh. Flexibility is not preference. It is survival when seasons betray the land. Civets do not migrate with grand journeys or visible paths. They drift. They move quietly, following food rather than maps. Every step into new ground carries risk. Roads slice through their world like open wounds. And the deadliest predator often has wheels. Food can become a weapon. Fear and misunderstanding follow them beyond the forest. Though solitary, civets remember companionship. When a mate disappears, the night grows heavier. She returns to familiar paths, to scent-marked trees that once held another heartbeat. Rain washes the scent away, but memory does not fade so easily. There is no body, no closure, only absence. Civets remember places long after leaving them. Solitude, for them, is not loneliness, it is strategy. Their eyes read stories written only in darkness, stories daylight will never see. Life continues, even when something is missing. Migration does not erase loss. New land does not replace old bonds. Yet each night survived is an act of defiance. Adaptability becomes their greatest strength. They move without maps, love without permanence, and survive without applause. And still, they endure. Civets do not cry. They do not call out. They do not sit beside the dead. But absence alters their movement. Memory reshapes their territory. Loss slows their nights. And then slowly they continue. Not civets survive loss because evolution shaped them too. In solitary species, prolonged emotional immobilization is fatal. Instead of emotional processing, civets rely on instinctive behavioral recalibration, memory suppression through routine change, physical endurance over emotional expression they do not forget. They outgrow the space where memory lives. Civets teach us something uncomfortable but profound. If you love wildlife documentaries, kindly like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified once we drop a new video.